In this house, keeping the floors clean is a constant battle between the excessive fur of my Australian Shepherd Rose or the paw prints that both Rose and Jet constantly track through the house by going out their little doggy door into the backyard when there's dew on the ground or maybe it's rain and then coming back inside. It is an everyday event to be sweeping and mopping, and because of that, I have gone through a whole bunch of different robot vacuums. I think this is actually my fourth or fifth one that I have tried over the years. And I think I have finally found one that can truly stand up to this workload. So today we're going to be reviewing the Tapo RV50 Pro Omni. This is a robot vacuum, of course, which can sweep your floor. It can empty its own dustbin. It can mop your floor. It can empty its own dirty mop water into a bin for that and refill itself with clean water out of a separate, different bin. Importantly to me, as someone with an Australian Shepherd whose fur gets literally everywhere, this thing has 15,000 pascals of sucking strength and what they are claiming to be a highly effective detangling technology in the brush itself. It's supposed to literally cut the fur off of that brush. I've heard claims like this before. They've never been able to hold up to Rose's fur. We're going to find out if this one is different. Now, at time of recording, you can see the regular price is $5.99 for this vacuum. They are doing a $200 off deal for pre-ordering, but I'm going to guess most of you did not pre-order this thing because by the time you're watching this deal is going to be gone. But I will have a code in the pinned comment down below, which is going to take $100 off of this $5.99 price. So I want to start off by showing you the Tapo application, which is where you're going to be actually managing your RV50 Pro. Let's jump into the vacuum cleaner here. And the first thing that's going to have to do is basically map out your house. It's just going to drive around and use technologies like LiDAR to create a map of your house, which you can then go in and edit and kind of fix this floor plan a little bit. Like, it's not going to know exactly where different rooms are going to be, so you can divide and merge rooms and you can sort of create the layout that makes the most sense for you. Once it's done with that, you'll see these three options down here at the bottom. You can clean by room, you can clean the entire home, or you can clean by zone, where basically you just kind of give it this space and say, hey, clean that spot. Just to make things easier, we're going to stick with the room cleaning, and let's say we're going to clean the studio where I'm at right now. If we select that, you can see that the kitchen is also still selected from last night, as well as the hallway. We're going to get rid of those. You can then click on this option right here down bottom left, and this is going to allow you to tell it exactly what kind of cleaning you want it to do. Now, perfect fit is what it's going to be on by default, and it says the vacuum basically selects the optimal cleaning preferences and paths tailored to your home environment. I tend to just kind of tell it what I want. And you have several options. You can have it vacuum and mop simultaneously. Vacuum, go back, empty its dustbin, pick up its little mopping pads and return for a mop. Only vacuum, mop only, or you can do a custom thing where you can kind of set up an order of operation, a speed, so forth and so on. And you can see here there's a bunch of different parameters you can set. Maybe it's pretty dirty in there, right? Maybe the dogs have really made a mess. I'm going to have it vacuum twice. You can set the vacuum power. You can set the water level and the route. How tight of a path do you want it to be taking? All of these things will affect the level of cleanliness you're able to achieve. If we jump into the settings, there's quite a few other interesting things. So this vacuum is actually going to detect where you might have rugs down. If we jump back here and we zoom in, this is the rug that you can actually see in my videos, and it did detect this. Now, the reason it's not detecting it here is because that's where I sit. There's a table kind of all in this area, so it doesn't necessarily go there. Hasn't detected a rug being there. And you can see that it's detected rugs in other places, at the back door, in the bedroom, in the living room. And because it can do this, because it's going to realize where there are rugs, there are other things that you can do. So when it's going over a carpet, it can boost that suction power to get more of that dirt out of there. It'll also understand that, hey, that's a rug. I probably shouldn't be mopping that. So when it detects a rug, it's going to default to vacuum only on that new rug. This is another cool one, a long grain cleaning. If you turn this on, you can go in and tell it what direction your floor is actually laid out in. You know as well as I do that if you mop along the grain, it does get cleaner. This robot is actually smart enough to understand that. You can tell it the grain direction and it will mop in that direction. As cool as all that stuff is, these options right here, these are where the rubber really met the road for me. Under dock setting, auto empty frequency, Emptying mode, mop wash frequency, washing mode, these things became incredibly important to me. Let's talk about why. Like I said, I've tested a bunch of robot vacuums and I've heard the same claims being made. This can handle your pet's fur just fine. So I got this thing set up and I started using it. But after just a few short days, disaster struck. I flipped it over to check and see if that brush was remaining untangled, and it was absolutely clogged full. I pulled the dustbin out manually, and it was absolutely packed with Australian Shepherd fur. I thought to myself, here we go again. Another robot vacuum making nonsense claims that it cannot stand up to. But then I did something. I dug into the settings, and I found these options, and I turned them all up, as you saw in that little bit of top-down footage. I turned them all up to their maximum. So basically what happens now is when it vacuums, if it's doing a couple of rooms, it might go back to its base station and empty itself a couple of times or even a few times. And when it does that, that suction power pulling the stuff out of that dustbin is going to be cranked up. It's really going to do its best to pull everything out of there. And by doing that, I am elated to report to you that that problem seems to be effectively gone. I genuinely have not swept my floor with an actual broom in like 2 weeks, and that is absolutely crazy. Normally, if I did that, I would be wading through fur. Like, it would literally be like walking through snow. It's insane how much fur are on these dogs. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty impressive that this thing has been able to handle that without these recurring clogs that I have seen on every other vacuum that I have ever used. Now, I will give it one sort of minus mark. One thing that it has done that it's better than any other thing I've used, but it still is there. Every once in a while, once it gets done doing a room, there will be just a little pile of fur laying on the floor that sort of piled up and didn't actually get sucked up. Now, here's the difference, though. This is happening maybe once every 4 or 5 rooms that's vacuuming. With my prior vacuums, it was just a thing that after they vacuumed, I would take my actual stand-up vacuum cleaner and I would just kind of walk around and pick up 2 or 3 piles of fur. So it's way better than anything else has been. Still not quite perfect, though. Something else that's been quite impressive is this object avoidance system. With my prior vacuums, I would have to sort of prep the house in order to be vacuumed because my Australian Shepherd, she's the common denominator in this video. She's the problem. She loves her toys and she loves to bring them with her everywhere, and they get scattered all throughout the house. And that would get in the way. These vacuums would hit them. They would try to run them over. Bad things would happen. This thing is supposed to have this avoidance system. And I can tell you this, I've tested, I've left things out intentionally, and it's crazy how close it will get to these objects and then just vacuum all around them and then continue on. It works shockingly well. So the sweeping is pretty darn good. The object avoidance is also very strong. What about the other half of this thing, right? It's also going to mop your floor. It's got these 2 rotating mop pads. One of them can actually sort of extend and kick out further to get closer to your baseboard, closer to the wall. How well does the mopping actually handle the sort of workload that I'm talking about? Those paw prints all throughout the house. For this, it's a little bit more of a mixed bag, but I think if you know what to expect, I think you can be pretty happy with this thing. The way I kind of conceptualize this in my head is like this. In the past, I've got a mop bucket with an actual mop, and I've got like a Swiffer wet jet type thing. Those are for 2 different things. The Swiffer is for quickly getting up those paw prints before they have really like set in. It's not like a true like mess. It's just some basic paw prints, a little scuff on the floor. The mop is for the heavier duty stuff. What this thing does is more akin to a Swiffer wet jet, and that's more than enough for me. Last night, this is a perfect example of this. I've done this the last couple of nights, actually. The dogs have gone outside. There's been a lot of rain here lately in the evenings. The dogs go out the doggy door. They come back in, and man, there are paw prints all throughout my house. So I'm laying in bed. I select the hallway, I select the kitchen where the paw prints are typically going to be located. I tell it to vac and mop, and when I wake up, my floors look perfectly clean. It can handle that beautifully. Now, you're probably not supposed to do this, but there have been a couple of moments where I have sort of seen, hey, that spot there is probably going to be trouble. So I took a bottle of cleaning spray and just sprayed a couple of little squirts on there, kind of pre-treated a little bit, and it took that up absolutely fine. And I know that kind of flies in the face of what we're trying to do here. Like, we don't want a robot vacuum that vacuums and then you have to manually vacuum, or it mops and then you have to go back and mop anyways or pre-treat things. And for the most part, you don't have to do that. But there have been those few little moments where maybe I have had to pick up a hairball, or I have had to pre-treat a spot. And yes, there are absolutely going to be times where I'm going to have to use an actual mop bucket. But the vast majority of the time, this thing is just getting the job done for me. The biggest annoyance I've had with this thing, and this should kind of give you a general idea of how much I have liked this robot vacuum, is that, and you saw this earlier in the video, you can see that the kitchen and the hallway have been clean. They were clean last night. I opened the thing up and it still had those 2 rooms selected. So I've done this quite a few times. I've opened it up and I've been like, oh, I'm gonna sweep the living room, so I select it and it goes and it starts cleaning the kitchen and the hallway again because those things were still selected. If I select a room and you've done the cleaning, it should deselect it. It should not remain selected because that's going to cause confusion. That's literally like the biggest annoyance that I have had with this robot vacuum. And I can kind of underscore this a little bit more. I think a lot of you that have been watching my channel for a long time have known that I have used Wyze cameras for my home sort of surveillance. And after using this robot vacuum, my Wyze robot vacuum has gone into storage, and I actually swapped all of my cameras out for Tapo cameras because I like having everything in one spot, and I am committed to this vacuum in a way that I have not been since that Wyze robot vacuum. I do want to say a big thanks to TP-Link Tapo for sending the RV50 Pro over for me to review, and for this review, no money has exchanged hands, only the product was gifted to me, and they are seeing this video at the exact same time as you guys are because they had no control over what I was going to say, no early viewing or editorial input. I do want to reiterate that I have that $100 off code in a pinned comment down below. So if you want to save a little bit of money on this thing, please do use that and save yourself some money. That link is probably also an affiliate link if I had to guess, which would mean that if you make a purchase, I'm going to earn some commission off that. That's a great way to help support the channel. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.